You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the POLITY, a program that focuses on everything political from within Nigeria and other parts of the world. And we'd like to tell our viewers that our telephone lines will soon be displayed on the screen so that they can call and participate to make the program conversational. Please call to make your views known to the world. And with me in the studio is no other person than Olumuyiwa Onlede. Olumuyiwa Onlede is a comrade and he's also a social affairs commentator. Olumuyiwa, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin the conversation by asking you, Nigeria held the title of Africa's largest economy since the GDP rebasing of 2013. But today, there was an expected projection of $252 billion, of our GDP accruing to the country in 2024. Would you say we have lived up to that projection?
No, GDP is, when you say projection of GDP, the first question is, are we there? Number two, even when we are there, how best has it translated to the general well-being of the people? I would like to quote the president of African Development Bank, Dr. Akiwumi Adesina. He said it emphatically that nobody hits the GDP. What the people want to see is good life. They want to have value for money. They want food inflation to go down. They want goods and services to be affordable. They want value for the money they have to spend. Those that have money to spend, they want to get value for the money. But if you are talking about the GDP, the growth of GDP has not really translated to any positive impact in the life of the people. Today, people cannot buy tomatoes, people cannot buy pepper, people cannot buy rice. People are left to live like paupers in their country. Even those that are working, they are complaining. And I ask myself, what about those not earning anything? We've been hearing of minimum wage is too small. But what is the take? Who is going to carry them along? Those not earning anything, who is going to carry them along? The projection, we'll be hearing projection. IMF, the World Bank, they have always projected that we are getting to somewhere. But even when we get to that place, we do not see the impact in the life of the people. What the people want to see now is a good life. They want a situation whereby people will not go to bed hungry. And that is what is supposed to be the priority of any leader. At any level. The people you are leading, do they go to bed hungry? If you have a very big GDP and the people go to bed hungry every night, that is failure in leadership. That is failure in leadership. Because an average woman in Abia State selling oppa, when you tell her about GDP, that our GDP is growing, she doesn't understand what you are talking about.
She doesn't.
But she wants to go out with her oppa and sell and make sales and buy fish and buy ugu and go back home, make food for herself, her husband, and her family, her children. That is what they want. And after Yoruba woman in Ekiti State want the same. They want to go out, make sales, make petty trade, make sales, and come back home with what they need. If an African woman selling onions wants to sell, those are the things. When they sell, they can buy other things that they need. That is when they see, okay, the country is okay. But if the GDP is at the higher level, and the people are not okay, the people cannot feed, the people cannot even buy sachet water to drink, the people does not have tap water to drink, the people does not have good houses to still sleep, the people cannot even sleep in the night, there is insecurity everywhere. I don't think we should be talking about GDP. Let us caution the effect of hardship that we are experiencing before we discuss extensively about GDP.
Now, you've talked about food inflation, and you've cited those categories of people who eke out a living, selling okpa, granolas, and whatnot. Currently, the country's headline inflation is at 33.95%. Nigerians, the rich of the poor, men and women, know that things are difficult. The cost of fuel has redoubled in the last 1 year.
Tripled.
And it tripled or quadrupled, as the case may be, in the last 1 year. And, you know, food prices have shot through the roofs, including staple food and other consumables. To what would you attribute, you know, this economic downward spiral, if I may put it that way?
Number one, the removal of subsidy, petrol subsidy. That is the first thing. The removal of petrol subsidy skyrocketed the price of everything that you can talk about. Not only the petrol, but everything that you can talk about, because we use our mode of transportation in moving goods and services is majorly petroleum products. So now, when you remove subsidy, definitely the prices of goods and services will go up. Now, that is what we are experiencing. Now, even last year, a basket of tomato was being sold for 10,000 naira, as low as 10,000 naira. Today, we have a basket of tomato being sold at the rate of more than 100,000 naira. Now, where the Ministry of Agriculture failed is lack of projection. Lack of projection. They should have projected that, okay, maybe by next year, this and this will happen. The prices of goods and services will definitely go up. But when you talk about food, that is the most important thing. When you are able to solve the problem of food, you have substantially solved the problem of the people. Okay. You understand? Now, they should have projected that, okay, food items, the price of food items will go up. Now, what are they supposed to do? They source for food, some billions, and subsidize so many things. Agro products, they liaise with farmers, both local farmers and mechanized farmers, liaise with them, so that more production will be able to reduce the prices of food. But that was not done. And that is where I have problem with the ministry entirely. Who are there? Who are the people in charge of research? We have agricultural research. We have agricultural research in Zaria. We have other. Ministry of Agri has one of the largest parastatals under it. But they have not been able to do anything. They have not been able to do anything. We don't even know the problem. Why, as a basket of tomato that was 10,000, gone to 100 and something thousand?
Hello, good afternoon. We are on to the POLITY.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from and make your contribution.
I'm Ujuma from Abuja.
Ujuma.
I want to say that food items, prices of food has gone out of reach of the common man. Government should do something about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. I think Ujuma has a consensus with you there.
Yes. It has gone out of reach of a common man. Nobody, if you go to the market with 50,000 naira, do you get value for your money? No. The answer is no. What are you going to buy? You buy foodstuffs that is not more than two cellophane bags. That is a very big problem that we have in our hands. And I think the Ministry of Agriculture should speak to the people. What are they doing? The president should talk to them. The president should summon them. What are you going to do to cushion this effect? You cannot be a minister of agriculture and we have this kind of situation and you are not speaking to the people. I don't know whether I'm not seeing it in the media space, but I'm not seeing anything coming out from the ministry. I've not seen any statement coming out of the ministry. Okay, we were here a year ago, today we are here, but we are working assiduously to make sure that we are somewhere better in the next 2-3 months. But that has not been done. That means Nigerians are left to their fate. Yeah. We just allow things to happen naturally. Then what is the essence of having a ministry? Then what is the essence of having a minister? What is the essence of having a minister of state? What is the essence of having those parastatals? If they are not talking to Nigerians. Okay, when are we going to begin to see downward spiral of food prices? Nobody is telling us. They must speak to us. They are servants of the people. If the situation is beyond their thinking, because nobody can do anything beyond his brain, you will do whatever you can do within your limit, within the limit of your understanding and the limit of your expertise, or within the limit of your consultants. But there are situations where you gather consultants. If you are confused, you gather consultants. But if you have not done that, Nigerians cannot be left to just wallow in pain and hunger without the people saddled with the responsibility of making food available, talking to us. Okay. They want to hear. People want to hear. People want to be talked to. We have Ministry of Agric in every state. What are they doing? Within their little way, what are they doing? We have Department of Agric in every local government. Within their limit, what are they doing? Because if the people cannot eat, if the people cannot feed, then there is danger. There is danger because an angry man is an angry man. Are we going to wait until everybody go to the street to say, no, we can no longer take it? Nigerians are good people. Nigerians are people that can pacify. Nigerians are people that can endure. But there's a limit to how long a people can endure. So something must be done. Drastically, something must be done. Something must be done.
So the ministers are not talking to us.
They are not talking to us.
And amidst groaning, Nigerians are groaning because people are tired. Everywhere, every time you open your newspaper or you on your television to listen to news, all you hear is about Nigerians complaining.
Yes.
Now, today we woke up with the news that there is a list of Nigerians that own property in Dubai, and most of them are politicians. That kind of story, how does it resonate with the common man, especially in this, with this spectacle of groanings around the country?
I can tell you, Mr. Maucauley, it arose the anger of a common man when they hear such things, because they believe, a common man believes that is commonwealth.
We have a caller. Hold your thoughts there. Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm Idris Adole from Benue State.
Okay, Idris, go ahead with your comment.
First, I appreciate you for the comments in the studio.
Thank you.
And just a brief issue anyway. I strongly believe the aim of our present president is for him to have appeared as a president only. He did not care for the message for the Nigerians. And when we say it's quite unfortunate, it's not anyone that understands. We strongly believe there is still God. There's God. Definitely one day, God must surely give us the good people to rule this country.
Okay.
Suffering we are obtaining now, I strongly believe God will surely wipe off our tears.
Okay.
To make name is not an issue. After this life, the second life is still there.
Yes.
Another life.
The second life is still there. So I thank you for so much.
Thank you, Idris. Idris is resorting to prayers and God's intervention.
Yes.
Should that be the case?
At this point, we are left with no option. Nigerians are left with no option than to resort to God. Because if you have a serious minister, sorry to use that word, on here, I will be working with so many state governors. If I were to be, let me withdraw that word. Let me say, if I were to be the Minister of Agriculture, I'll be working with so many state governors. I'll be working with Taraba State Governor, Benue State Governor, Kogi State Governor, most of the states where we have arable lands. What can we do? I will convoke a town hall meeting in those states. What can we do with critical stakeholders? What can we do to increase production? What can we do to increase your output as stakeholders, as farmers? What the state, what are you going to bring? The federal government, we are ready to bring. Are you bringing land? Are you bringing tractors? Is the federal government bringing tractors? Are we bringing money? If we divert our money to to this, I can bet it with you that people will start complaining.
You're making valid points there, but let's take this caller. What are your thoughts? Good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon. We are on to the POLITY.
Mr. Fadihan from Osun State.
Mr. Fadihan.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for your efforts.
Okay.
The thing is, Ukuma spoke well.
Okay.
We don't have people in place. The government, the minister, the parastatal head, they are not talking. And we don't know whom they want to speak. We don't know. Because if we say we have government, people are dying, people are crying, that things are hard, and nobody care. Nobody care. Is it until when every individual will be picking up along the road?
Yeah, can hear you.
Please, whoever is there should talk to government. Should talk to government. The agriculture, the Ministry of Agri is not working. The Ministry of Aviation, the Ministry of Defense, nobody. People are killing people everywhere. And they are saying they are top of the matter. They are top of the matter. What are we saying? Please, well done.
Thank you, Fadihu from Oyo State. He seems to be speaking the minds of Nigerians.
Yes. If I have to be Minister of Agriculture, we have problem with tomato. We never had this so bad. 170,000 naira for a basket of tomato. No, that is unacceptable. I'll be going to Sokoto. I'll go to Jos. I'll go to states where they produce all these things. So what is the problem? Number one, you must know the problem. You can't sit down in the office as if there's no problem. There is a problem, a big problem. You go to Sokoto, you go to all those states. What can we do when they tell you the different problem? Because what the problem is in Plateau may not be what the problem is exactly in Sokoto. When you gather all your data together, then you fashion out solutions to these problems. You work with state, whether be it any political party, any governor that is any state, you work with them for the sake of Nigerian people. So many Nigerians do not care whether somebody is in APC or PDP or Labour or Abga. All they want is they want food on the table. They don't care. They want food on the table. Only few people, only few politicians uses all those indices to divide us. They want food on the table. So work for the people as if there are no barriers. Those in situations like this, there shouldn't be any barrier. There shouldn't be any barrier. And the governments too must cooperate with me, because if I say I want to come to your state and you say no, we are not interested in anything, there's a problem. There's a problem. Then I'll speak to the people. We want to come and have a town meeting with the governor and critical stakeholders, and the governor has refused. Don't play politics with what is happening to the people. Don't play politics with the pain of the people. And I don't think any governor we don't want to partner with federal government to cushion the effect of hunger and hardship. But we are not seeing all those. We are not seeing all those things.
Okay, let's dovetail into an issue that is almost, placing Nigerians and, the executive, the government at loggerheads. And that has to do with the planned, purchase or procurement of a private jet for the president for safety. And National Assembly has recently prepared grounds for the purchase of an aircraft for the president and the vice president of the country. How did you receive this news initially, at the first instance?
Number one, the news came from the National Assembly. Maybe I'm not knowledgeable enough to know that I don't think the National Assembly is in the position to procure private jets and aircraft in the presidential fleet. I don't think so. Or I think they are in the position to approve when the executive make a proposal.
I think the news is that the House of Representatives Committee on National Security did an audit of the presidential fleet and discovered that some of them are unserviceable.
Then they issued a wrong statement. Okay. I said, no going back on procurement of presidential fleet. Not going back. It's not your duty. You understand? See, the statement, we want to be talked to, but we want to hear statements from the right authorities, from the right angle, from the right people. Not that the National Assembly will say no going back on. No. The executive is in charge of procuring presidential fleet. You only approve when the proposal is sent to the National Assembly. You only approve. So stay on your duty. Your responsibility is to approve. You understand? Why I'm saying this is because Nigerians already have a very big problem with the National Assembly. To so many Nigerians, they believe the National Assembly is not worthy of their take-home pay. I don't believe that anyway. Because if you are an administrator, you know the runnings of, because people are only angry because what is accrued to them as the masses, they are not getting it. So they come at you to say, no, what is accrued to you, you are not supposed to get it too. You must understand where the people are coming from. The people are not only hungry. We had National Assembly from 1999. We had National Assembly in the First, Second, and Third Republic. The people were not attacking them just the way we are seeing it now. But because the masses are suffering, that is why they are getting at the National Assembly. The National Assembly is a separate arm of government. They are the legislature, they are the lawmakers. When a proposal is made from the executive, by the executive, they pass it to the National Assembly for approval. They pass it to law and approve for them to procure. Well, they have the news of procurement of presidential fleets came from the National Assembly, and that was a wrong move. The committee was supposed to compile their report and send it back to the NSA, because NSA is in charge of managing the presidential fleet. Send it to the NSA. Let the statement, based on what they found out, there are some of the fleets that are not serviceable. Based on this, we want to procure another one. But is it the right time for us to procure a new presidential fleet?
From what you're saying, it seems to be political rather than adherence to oversighting of the National Assembly. Because the National Assembly is dominated by the ruling party, where the president comes from.
Once you work to impress people, I believe the National Assembly, the committee that made that statement, they were just housed to impress the president, which is not necessary. We don't need it for now. The people are hungry. You don't talk about it from the National Assembly. Let the people in charge of management of those presidential fleet talk about it, which is the NSA. There is a wing in the NSA that is in charge of managing the presidential fleet. Let the statement come from them. Have you heard it from the NSA? Office of the NSA? No. Not till now. We have not heard anything. And they should be saddled with the responsibility to know whether what I am supposed to manage has become unmanageable, unserviceable. We need a new one, not in National Assembly. That is where they got it wrong.
Now, the National Assembly talked about procuring a jet, and they are attributing that position that they took on the fact that the president uses chartered flights. Does it make it right for a president to use chartered flights for official trips?
I don't know. I cannot say categorically whether it is right or wrong. But if there are pressing journeys for the president and the vice president, and we don't have any safe airline, any safe presidential fleet, there will be no choice than to use a chartered flight. There was an incident that happened like last month in Iran or Iraq, where we lost the president. It was unfortunate that the helicopter crashed.
Okay.
There were so many conspiracy theorists that came up with what is happening in Ukraine and between Israel and Palestine has given rise to this. But as God will have it, we thank God it did not go beyond that.
Natural disaster.
Yes. Now, before we knew it, another one happened in Malawi with the vice president.
Yes.
So We are not saying we are praying for such in Nigeria. But if care is not taken, we must be very careful. We must be very careful as a people. Not only presidential fleet. What is the condition of all the jets, both private and commercial airlines in Nigeria? What is the condition?
Yeah.
Let us use if a president of a country as buoyant as Iraq can die of air disaster, then we must look inward and say, okay, what is the condition of all our airlines? Both private jets that belongs to religious or the organizations that belong to banks. We must look at those things. And there must be the citizens of this country must touchlight the regulatory bodies within the aviation sector. They must touchlight them and look at them so that the Nigeria factor will not continue to reign supreme within the aviation sector. Because there was a time in this country that plane crash was as frequent as breakfast in this country. A committee will be set up to look at the causes and this thing, but after some months, everybody forgets. We live our normal lives. These are human lives being wasted. These are people that will have contributed positively to the economy, the security, and every sector of this nation. So Solution Airline, these are children that will have grown to become doctors, that will have grown to become pilots, that will have grown to become productive in Nigeria. We lost them. Do we continue to lose people? Because you look at the presidential fleet, how often are they being maintained? Is the maintenance just the way our refineries are being maintained? Because we have done turnaround maintenance for our refineries since 1999, more than 4 times, and we have not seen anything. If the maintenance is as such, then Nigeria is a joke. We must look at ourselves. Okay, look at some
that brings me, to mention, that's the question I wanted to ask you. Nigerian president uses Jet 001, in the presidential fleet, and in that presidential fleet, we have 6 jets and 6 helicopters, and 3 are said not to be serviceable from reports available. Boeing business jet is 19 years old in that fleet, and it is unserviceable. And then one Gulfstream G55 is 13 years old. It is said to be unserviceable. And then another Gulfstream GV is 23 years old. It is unserviceable. The only unserviceable one is a Falcon, and that Falcon is serviceable. Is Challenger. Challenger is serviceable and is about 12 years old. You talk about why should our aircraft be unserviceable?
No, that is where we must ask questions. Where were they acquired? What was their condition when they were acquired? Because we had a situation whereby we had a plane crash in Nigeria, and Senator Smart Adeyemi, I could remember, spoke on the floor of the National Assembly, the Red Chamber, and said, based on history, this place was grounded in the United States. It was there on ground for 1 year. Then a particular airline in Nigeria went there, bought it, and signed an agreement with the United States government that, okay, I will not keep this plane in US. I'm taking it out of US, and that was the agreement that was signed between the government and the people that bought it. They moved the plane to Nigeria. Of course, Nigeria dumping ground. Moved to Nigeria. After some years, the plane crashed. How long are we going to continue? What was the condition of those jets, presidential fleet, when they were purchased? Who are the people that purchased them? What was the condition? Did we get value for money? And if you look at it, we have 6. I think we don't need more than 3. We don't need, as a country, we don't need more than 3. The president, only on rare occasion, you see the president and the vice traveled at the same time. So if we have 3, if the president is traveling with 1, we have 2 on standby. If the vice president is traveling with 1, we have 2 on standby.
Exactly.
So we need only 3. We need only 3. If we can dispose the 6 and get 3 from the proceed, that would be good for us.
Okay, reports making round is that only 3 have been put up for sale, so that any monies accruing from the proceeds will be put to augment, the cost of procuring 1.
No, if you have 6 and you are putting 3 for sale, then you still have 3.
Yes.
When you say 3, you still have 3. No, we don't need more than that 3.
Okay.
More than that 3. The one that is serviceable should be serviced. The 2 that are serviceable should not even be kept. So 5 should be sold for us to get 2. Making 3.
Making 3.
That is economically wise right now, considering what we are going through as a people. Nigerians are hungry. Let us have 3. Then, when our economy improves in the nearest future, we can get more. We can get more. But for now, I don't think we need more than 3. 3 we do. It's only in Nigeria you see one person with 10 cars, then a ministry with 50 cars. Those things does not translate to improve performance.
Yeah.
They doesn't translate to improve performance. We see in those ministries, those without official cars, when you check, when you appraise them, you see their productivity is even higher than those with official cars. So official car does not help you to improve your performance. Money, cars, presidential jets is not a motivating factor. You must have a motive to perform before you can be motivated. If you don't have a motive, there's nothing can motivate you. Whether we have 150 presidential fleets, if there's no motive to perform from the side of the president and the vice and the executives, they are not going to perform.
So can't a 13-year-old or an aircraft that has been flown for 12 years, can't it be serviceable and be used?
It depends on the condition when it was being acquired.
Because it is said that we're not even going for a brand new aircraft, we're going for used one.
Then the used one that we are going for, how many years have they been flown?
That's another key point.
So you cannot sell an aircraft that has been flown for 12 years because it's old, and you go and buy another aircraft that has been flown for 10 years. There's no sense in that. There's no sense in that. You can't buy an aircraft that has been flown for more than 4 years.
Nobody heard about those that are indicating interest to even buy the aircrafts.
So
what's the?
So that is why we don't have money to buy more than 3. We don't have money to maintain more than 3 for now. Within 11 months, we have spent up to 14 billion maintaining all the presidential fleet. If we reduce the number of the jets, aircraft in the fleet, then we are automatically reduced maintenance fee. Automatically we have reduced the cost of governance.
Okay.
Automatically we have reduced the cost of governance. You understand? If we reduce how many we have bought, we have reduced costs of running the government. If we reduce how many we are going to buy, and buy 3 instead of 6, we have 3 instead of 6, then we have reduced cost of governance, because you continue to maintain these aircrafts every day.
Why do we have a penchant for poor maintenance culture in this country? Because it is a phenomenon that cut across the gamut of our society.
That's a very big problem. We have a very big problem when it comes to maintenance, even as individuals. You see, in our various homes, you see a tap is running continuously. You see people with 2-3 weeks. It has not been fixed.
Is there running?
It has not been fixed. Can you do that in the United Kingdom?
No.
Where you pay for water? No. You won't be able to pay. You won't be able to pay. But here, because we lack good maintenance culture, we don't fix it. You see people driving commercial vehicles without spare tire. You see people driving commercial vehicles and private vehicles with shattered windscreens. Those things translate to how
we run government.
Because if you cannot take care of your home,
yes,
once you see yourself,
that's right.
You get worse. You get worse.
I've read a commercial aircraft that some of the bolts were dead.
So who are those in charge? Who are those in charge? We have NCAA, we have FAN, we have so many of them. Who are those in charge? Are they not seeing it? Somebody is not doing his job. From the president downward to the lowest cadre in government office. There is something we are doing wrong as a people. And we must have a change of attitude. We must have a change of attitude. And I'm using this opportunity to talk to the executives, the president, and the vice precisely.
Okay,
we need more than 3.
On that advisory note, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll continue with the conversation on the need for the president to buy new presidential jets. But that will be after the break, and Olumuyiwa will still be here with me in the studio to keep the conversation going. Don't forget to call in for participation as our callers to make the conversation participatory. Thank you for being there. Stay with us.
The President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with focus on equipping Nigerian women and youths for the job market, is set to significantly boost the number of highly skilled Nigerian youths from 15% to 50%. This collaboration and initiative between the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE) and the Ministry of Labour and Employment, which held in Abuja, will conduct comprehensive skills assessment across various states.
The part in which my office will be playing more is more on the mapping, where we will go to different states to find out what skills are necessary in the state. So we match supply against demand to make sure that what we'll be training them in the states are the skills they actually need and that are profitable. We'll also be working a lot with certification, which is making sure we put together a curriculum together to certify and making sure that the curriculum fits with the same curriculum as NBTE. In my office, there's also part of my office, which you can see some of our staff is NBTE, so we do work with the skills councils and certify. And we also be working very closely with the minister and the ministry on training, and also working on your already existing facilities and training centers. We really look forward to this collaboration, and we know this collaboration is going to create the jobs, as the mandate has said, and it's also going to make sure that most of our Nigerian youth are skilled.
The Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Onyejocha, while speaking, stressed the importance of leveraging expertise from abroad to benefit the nation.
We should come together and leverage on our expertise. Our people should also come home and bring back their best. I believe that what we are doing today is a step in the right direction to say we must start now. We can't continue to reel out figures that does not add anything, does not change narratives. We want to start from this place to make sure that we upskill people's intelligence, because Nigerian youths are very intelligent people. So we are going to partner with SSA to Mr. President to make sure that we upskill our courses and make sure that we match training with your aspiration.
Meanwhile, an empowerment drive at Wuse Market in conjunction with the Ministry of Women Affairs saw selected women receive startups to enhance their businesses, with Minister Uju Kennedy Ohaneye urging women to seize these opportunities.
Thousands of women get this to because when you do anything, people will come support you.
This initiative underscores the Tinubu administration's commitment to tackling youth unemployment by enhancing technical and vocational education, thus closing the skills gap and meeting market demands.
You're welcome back. You're still on to the polity if you're just joining us. My name is Maucauley Hunohashi, and with me in the studio is still Olumuyiwa Onlede, and our conversation has been on the planned the plan to buy new presidential jets for the president and vice president as proposed by the National Assembly particularly House of Representatives Committee on National Security. Now, Muyiwa, let me ask you. He used a Boeing business jet, goes for between 25 to 41 million US dollars. And a used Gulfstream, whether it's 550, G550 or 600, is going between 12 million to 15 million US dollars. These are used aircraft. Research has shown. Would you say this is feasible for a country like Nigeria that is, has so much economic challenges at this moment in time?
If it is true that 5 out of the 6 aircraft in the presidential fleet are not serviceable, then we have a problem in our hands. If 5 are not serviceable,
yes,
that talks a lot about our maintenance culture.
Okay.
There are people in charge, and there were people in charge before now, for years, 23 years, 15 years, and they were there to see. One became unserviceable, another one joined and became unserviceable until it became 5 unserviceable. When you allow your properties
to decay,
yeah, then you have a problem.
You have a problem.
If we are starting replacing one by one, we will not be in this kind of situation. Maybe now that we are having crisis, hunger, starvation,
exactly,
we will not be talking about.
So the timing is another issue.
It's a very big problem, and because we did not do what we were supposed to do in the past. When one is bad, you replace that one. The second one became bad, you replace it, but you don't wait until all of them are bad. That is billions of naira.
Yeah.
When you convert it.
When you convert it,
billions of naira. So, my suggestion is we mustn't buy the ones that are as big as the one we have now. Let us have what we can afford as a nation. Let us have what we can afford. Let us sell 5 and add 2, and we have only 3. I insist that we don't need more than 3.
okay,
We don't need more than 3.
we don't need more than 3.
We don't need more than 3 for now. Then in the nearest future, if our economy is okay, there's no hunger, or let's say the level of hunger has gone to the barest minimum, then we can decide to add. But for now, what are we even doing with more than 3 aircraft in the presidential fleet?
You talked about timing. Is it predicated on insensitivity? I don't know how to answer that question.
Yes, because some people that were supposed to look at this thing and work on
advise.
this and advise, oh, let's change this. They did not do their job. They did not do their job. People are being carried away by what they will gain when they assume position of power. And it doesn't end on the head of elected officials or appointed officials. Even career civil servants, they are also complicit.
Now, Olumuyiwa, when you take a look at the money being stolen from Nigeria by people placed in position of authority, you won't believe that Nigeria is a poor country, because money, billions of naira or dollars credited to one single individual is enough to be the budget of 5 countries, 5 small countries in Nigeria.
Even some small European
together.
Even some small European countries.
Exactly.
European countries. Yes, Nigeria is rich in honey, but poor in infrastructure.
Okay.
Poor in the lives of the people. You can see poverty all over the people. The lives of the people. People cannot stay in decent homes. People cannot eat decent meals. People do not use decent means of transportation. Talking about the masses. Because less than 1% of Nigerian population flies. Less than 1% uses train. That is when it is even available. So 99% of Nigerians use road transportation. Do we have decent transportation? Both intracity and intercity? Interstate and intrastate? No, the answer is no. So what is the riches that we're talking about? Nigeria can be said to be a wealthy country when you look at the earning, where we are earning. But at the end of the day, those monies being end up in private pockets, majority of whom are politicians, followed by civil servants and public servants, followed by privileged contractors who are puppets of those in offices, followed by some, some privileged family members who are close to those in power.
And so most of them own private jets.
It goes on and on.
Mm.
It might interest you to know that there are people that call themselves contractors. They own private jets.
Yes.
But their focus, the agency that they are focusing on, where they are getting their contracts, for 5 years they have not completed any project. Mm. They have not commissioned any project. So, how can you be a public servant and the office where you are working, you got money to acquire a building, you are now renting that building out to the agency? Mm. It happens in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It happens in Nigeria. How can it be that individuals in government offices, they are richer than the office itself? You see, when we have problem in Nigeria, when we have anger, even before this level of hunger, when we have anger against people in offices, it's because the gap between the rich and the poor keeps wide. Mm-hmm. But the rich do not wait for the media, and they do not wait for the people to analyze the gap between the rich and the poor. They show it to the face of the poor that the gap between me and you, we and the poor, is wide, and we love it so. You understand? You go to airports in other countries, both the rich and the poor, they go through the same routine check. You say the same in Nigeria? No. You go to public offices, both the rich and the poor in foreign countries, they go through the same treatment. But the answer is no here. Even in religious houses, they go through the same thing in other countries. But here, it's the same. It's not the same. In other countries, you see billionaires carrying their suitcases themselves. You see billionaires taking water from water dispenser by themselves. But it's the same here. Once there is a wide gap, and the gap, there's got to be gap. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Fingers are not equal. Mm. There's got to be gap, but you don't show the people to their face that there is gap and we love it so. No, the people will revolt.
They will revolt.
The people will revolt, and that is what you see. And the way the people see the National Assembly, the way the people see the executives. You understand? Mm. Now, what do we do? Yeah. Let us try to close the gap. Mm. Let us believe that there is something called equality and justice.
Now, talking about National Assembly and the need for public to revolt, I was listening to someone's reaction yesterday with regards to this proposal, and someone asked him if there should be a public presentation or public debate with regards to the procurement of this aircraft. The idea or the proposal may not have a smooth sail. What do you think?
No, apart from,
because there will be resistance and outcry from the public.
Yes, there will be resistance. The people, if you conduct a vote now to whether Nigeria should acquire, you say the government will lose the vote. The government will lose the vote. The government will lose the vote.
Why is it that?
From the National Assembly, they set a template for the government to even lose the vote by announcing that there is no going back.
Yes, they said there's no going back.
There's no going back.
It's because of the safety.
You have to probe the state, how they were acquired, the maintenance, the state. You have to probe everything, look at everything, analyze it, and submit your report to NSA.
So
then the NSA will bring out a statement. But in a bit to impress,
you have already preempted the reactions of Nigerians.
Yes.
By saying there's no going back.
So,
and that is
credited
to the.
It is not their duty. It's not the duty of the National Assembly to say they are not the one to procure. They are to approve.
With regards to that, what is the approach of their oversight in function?
The oversight function is they have said, okay, there's need. These ones are bad. They are serviceable. Whether they actually visited the aircrafts in company of those that are knowledgeable, if there are members of national that are knowledgeable in the aviation, or there are none of them in the committee knowledgeable, they employ the services of consultants to actually check one by one and look at the papers and look at the maintenance. Because automatically, let's look at it from this way. If we get good ones, automatically what we are using to maintain the fleet will reduce drastically. But if you have a bad car, you spend more money in the mechanic workshop. You have a good car at least for some years, you not be a regular visitor, and it's the same. Now, did they do all those things? I'm not sure. But if that is the situation, they have said, okay, the fleets are not serviceable. 5 out of 6 is not serviceable. Then let them pass their report to the National Security Office of the National Security Advisor to make a statement. Let them take a decision. We will talk to the president, and from there they will take a decision. But for you, immediately you discover, okay, 5 of the presidential fleets are not serviceable. You made an announcement that you are going to buy new ones. You are not going to buy. It's not. I don't know whether I'm not knowledgeable enough, but I don't think it is the National Assembly that will procure presidential fleet for the executive. No, it's not done anywhere in the world.
Now, Nigeria has many critical minds, and many Nigerians are also cynical. Yet many are also, skeptical about, issues coming from government or pronouncements made by government. I'm going to ask this question against the backdrop of what happens in developed countries such as America. In America, they will check an aircraft for C-check. C-check is, the annual repairs or refurbishment of aircraft. Or even replaced Air Force One of the President of America. But you don't hear any hue and cry. Where is our case the reverse in Nigeria?
Because number one, we waited until almost all the aircrafts got bad before we made a move. That is number one mistake. Number two, the living condition of the people of America is different from the living condition of the people of Nigeria. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are hungry, and there's no argument from north to south, from west to east. There's no argument. We are all feeling the pain. We are all feeling the hunger. We go to the same market. The only difference is source of income.
Okay.
And the income itself. The source of income is different. What is coming in is different from one individual to another. But we patronize the same market. So nobody can argue. Now, there is a crisis of trust between the people and the government. In America, they believe the government because the government, to some certain extent, is serving the people well. To some percentage, they are getting good governance. But we seem not to be getting good governance from one regime to another, from one government to another, from one person to another. We seem not to be getting good governance. That is why the people tend not to believe whatever comes out from government. They don't believe it, no matter how true it is. And they don't even have time to analyze and dissect it. They just take decision. Immediately a statement comes from the government, they take a decision outrightly not to believe that these people have come again, just as usual. Because you have given them reasons. As a government, they have given the people reasons not to believe whatever they say. They have given the people the reasons to believe, oh, if you say you are going to buy a private jet for $10 million, automatically you are going to buy the one of $5 million.
Okay.
The remaining $5 million will go to people's pocket.
So it's a
but there must be some level of transparency and accountability from the side of the government. If you can prove to the people that you are transparent, that you are accountable to them, they will start believing. It's going to take time, but when we get there, they will start believing. But for now, there's no transparency mechanism, there's no accountability mechanism. Government dealings are shrouded in secrecy. You know, even with the advent of Freedom of Information Act 2011, things are still being done in secret. When people ask questions, the government offices, they prefer to hide those informations and hire senior advocates of Nigeria to defend them. Why they will not give those information to the people you are serving.
Yeah.
To the people you are serving. I've never seen that kind of leadership. Leadership that seems not to be accountable to the people. If I ask you, how best have you served me for the past 1 year? You should be able to tell me something. Not that you are not going to tell me anything outrightly. You are not going to tell me anything.
Something tangible, not intangible.
Do you know that up to the extent that if you say what is the nominal role of your agency, give me the nominal role of your agency without names and positions of those in your payroll. They can't give it out. They can't give it out. They can't give it out.
So you've talked about trust deficit between the followership and our leaders, and against the backdrop of what really goes on in the polity, which has created a fixated mindset about everything government does. Why is it so?
Because there's lack of transparency.
Okay.
And governance.
Okay, now that brings me to something laudable that government did yesterday, and it has to do with a reward system that government put in place by rewarding about 39 public servants, let me say civil servants, with awards and cash reward of 500,000 naira each. It was done in collaboration with Maucauley Foundation, and the head of service, Folashade, was at hand with the secretary to the government of the federation, Senator George Akume, to personally reward the civil servants representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
That's a very good initiative.
It's a good one.
Like Maucauley, it's corporate social responsibility from the foundation. Foundations are meant to alleviate the suffering of the people. Number one, they are meant to recognize outstanding performance in every strata of governance. They are meant to look at issues as it relates to the masses. It depends on the sector that your foundation is focusing on. But we are not seeing too much of impact in Nigeria. Foundations are not taxable. I hope you know that, sir.
Yes.
They are not taxable. So if the government has said, oh, don't pay tax, alleviate the suffering of our people, recognize outstanding disease, so that people, so that they can do more and other people around them can emulate them and do and compete with them. You are setting a pace for competition within government offices. Yeah. That's a very good one. But what I want the government to also do is to look at giving such people double promotion.
Okay.
Double promotion. Apart from cash reward, let there be double promotion. Because with what we have, inflation that we have in Nigeria now, if they decide not to invest the money will go within 5 months. The money will go. The fees will go within 5 months. But if you give them double promotion, that will continue to be a talk within the system. Within the system. Whenever they are seen in the office, they will point at them and say, he got or she got double promotion based on outstanding performance. You understand? That is what I want people to do. That's what I want the government to do. The secretary to the government of the federation, the head of service, they should look at giving those people double promotion. I know that it do happen in police, in the Nigerian police force. They give people with outstanding performance, they give them double promotion. And that is not out of place.
Yeah.
It can be done in the civil service. And that will be of more benefit to the people. And that will encourage other people to work hard also.
Okay.
And I want to use this opportunity to talk to everybody running any foundation. The foundations should up their game. They should up their game. This is the time that they are mostly needed.
Yeah.
If your foundation deals with giving people water, potable water to drink, this is the time. If your foundation deals with welfare of widows, welfare of women, farmers, there's no sector that does not have foundation in this country. Not paying tax, but we're not seeing much of their impact. The impact must be felt. If the government is failing, the foundations are not supposed to fail.
Okay, well, we have a caller. Hello, good afternoon. You're into the polity. Hello, we've lost the caller. Go ahead.
So, they should look at giving them double promotion. They deserve it. If the head of service worked assiduously with AIG Maucauley Foundation, I think there should be some level of transparency.
Okay.
And the issue of favoritism must have been eliminated to some certain extent. We cannot rule that out, but it must have been eliminated to some certain extent. But if it's a whole government thing, if it is government that is doing it from 100%, then there is the problem of crisis of trust will set in again. And people, you see people saying, oh no, somebody was giving this thing, I worked more than him, I worked more than her. Then the issue of favoritism, ethnicity, and what have you will set in because of our diverse this thing.
I've not heard any complaint anyway, but yesterday it was laughable. I was watching the news on TV with a friend of mine who dismissed the cash reward with a wave of the hand, saying it's a strategy by government spin doctors to create PR for the government. How do you react to that?
No, it's part of it.
It's part of
whatever you do and you put it in the media space, you're already creating PR for the government. But that does not override the benefit that is accrued to the people. If they have worked so hard, they deserve that benefit. Whether you are not using that benefit that you are giving to them to promote your government is another discussion. We cannot say because we don't want the government to be promoted, then those that deserve to be honored should not be honored. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Those that deserve to be honored should be honored. And if the government will use it as a means of PR, so it is left for the people to know, oh, you have done well or you have not done well. That is, but those that deserve to be honored, let them be honored continually. Not only this is supposed to be a routine, thing. Where any civil service week is supposed to be, you are supposed to honor outstanding.
I know it was done in commemoration of us, whole civil service.
Yes. Now, we look at so many civil societies, so many media houses. They look at governors and say, this is the governor of the year. Based on this and this and this. They give award to people that has done humanitarian services. You understand? They look at people that has done one thing or the other, they award them. That is a good initiative. That is a good initiative. I will not say those media houses are doing PR for themselves to promote it. Yes, you may or may not, you may get or you may not get financial support or any support at all from those who are awarding. But that does not stop the fact that those things that you have listed out as the achievement, does not stop the fact that they are feasible. There are things people can see. But whether we like it or not, there are governors that are doing well in some areas. There are governors that are doing well in some areas in water. There are governors that are doing well in housing. There are governors that are doing well in roads. There are governors that are doing well. So if they are honored, it doesn't mean it's a source of campaign.
No.
They must be honored so that those that did not do well will see. If you are done well, you will be honored like this. Then if you are coming, those that will come later will say, okay, if I do well, I will also be honored.
Okay, as we wind down, Olumuyiwa, let's take a look at the petroleum sector. You know, the president of Dangote Group is crying foul that IOCs, international oil companies, are sabotaging his efforts to maximize the capacity of his refinery to provide the products for the consumption of Nigerians and even for export. What's your reaction to that?
The IOCs are the puppeteers. They have so many puppets in the country, making sure that that sector remains under their grip. That sector remains underdeveloped for the benefit of the people. But this is where I have a problem. The Minister of Petroleum Resources, oil, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, gas, the essay to the President on maybe petroleum. Then we have the Group Managing Director, NIPC Limited. What are they doing? What are they doing? Without revelation by Dangote, who is a critical stakeholder as far as Africa is concerned in the oil and gas sector. He has the largest refinery in Africa for now, if not in the world.
Yeah.
Now, I believe if these people are really working for the president and they are working for the people, today they are supposed to have a serious meeting. They are supposed to be running the minister, both the two ministers and the group manager director of NIPC Limited. They are supposed to be running to Dangote. Now, give us a lowdown of all these allegations. Let us work on it. We are ready to sanction anybody.
But I don't know, Dangote has unfettered access to the president. Why does he have to come up?
He must have been frustrated to some certain extent before coming out to say this. He must have been frustrated. No, see, if you have access to the president, you can't continue to have to talk to one person.
One person, yeah.
The minister is there. The group manager director is there. We have somebody in upstream. We have somebody in downstream. We have a very large petroleum sector. All these critical stakeholders should be the one to run to him. The Dangote is not only talking about his business. His revelation about sabotaging his business is also a revelation that the regulators are not incapacitated.
Okay.
So if somebody is saying you are incapacitated, you are supposed to run to the person and say, how? I thought I was doing well.
Yeah.
You have proven to me, you have said I'm not doing well. Prove to me that I'm not doing well.
That's a vote of no confidence.
Yes. He's saying there's some sabotaging my business, and somebody is in charge of regulating those people not to sabotage me. Then that's a vote of no confidence on the regulators.
Yeah.
So I should be the one to run to him and say, you have laid an allegation that I am not doing well in my office. Please prove that allegation beyond reasonable doubt. I want to see. Then Dangote, what Dangote cannot say on here, he will be able to table it to them.
Yeah.
In black and white. And I believe before Dangote will come out to say what he has said, he has evidence. He has documents to back up those allegations. So why is there no meeting? Why is there no statement from Ministry of Petroleum Resources, from the minister, from NIPC Limited? There's no statement up to now.
No statement, yes.
More than 24 hours after that allegation was made.
Not even from the international oil companies.
You can't expect them to defend themselves.
Accused.
You can't expect them to defend themselves.
Of course, if they are not culpable,
they should be able to defend themselves, but you can't expect them to defend themselves if they are culpable. And I believe Dangote knows what he's saying. You cannot have that kind of investment and you are not privy to information within the sector.
What's the implication, particularly to prospective FDIs, foreign investors? What's the implication of that kind of statement, in the media?
When investors hear those kind of statements and they wait for the government to respond, they will now analyze government response and see whether the government is culpable or not. Once they see that, these people knows what they are doing, they are culpable, they will not come to the country with their money. Because whoever is investing anything wants return on investment.
Okay.
No matter how rich you are, if you invest, you want return on investment. And this statement should not be taken lightly by the president. The president should summon every critical stakeholder. We have always complained about that sector. The refinery in Port Harcourt, we were promised by the minister and the group manager director of NPC that it will take up by December. It was commissioned December. We did not see products coming out from there. They said April. April is gone. They said June. We are almost running out June. So, what is really the problem? What is really the problem?
Nobody can tell.
If it is beyond their power to turn around the situation, because once, see, in other parts of the world, when you are appointed into political offices, you are coming to solve problems.
Yes.
You are coming to solve problems. You are not coming to sit and enjoy. You are not coming to sit and relax. You are coming to solve problems. That is why you look at people that take up appointments and people that take up elected positions. The Constitution look at, and they have to look at their state of mind. Their state of mind, their head. Will they be able to work as they are supposed to work? Because you work more than you are supposed to work before you are appointed. If you be working in your home office for 10 hours, now you'll be working for 12 hours. You'll be working for 13 hours. You'll be working for 23 hours. You have little time to rest. So, but it's unfortunate when you go to government offices, even with the hunger in the town, you see appointees of government, career civil servants, behaving as if there's no problem.
Yes. Okay.
But immediately you come out of the building, you see problems everywhere. Immediately you enter the building, you see them behaving as if there's no problem. Once there's a problem, you don't sleep. You don't sleep until you set strategies in motion to solve those problems. Problems cannot be solved overnight. We know that. But you must set strategies in motion. And you must monitor those strategies.
Okay.
In strategy management, when the strategy is not working, you go back and re-strategize.
Okay.
But there are no strategies. People are just going to the office, coming out, receiving visitors, and that is all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, on that note, viewers, that's the size of our package today on the POLITY. On behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team that made it possible, I am Maucauley Hunohashi, thanking our guests in the studio, Olumuyiwa, Onlede, for taking time to come.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next time on the POLITY, and stay blessed. Bye-bye.